I don't think there's anything more emasculating as a reader than going to vote in the Goodreads Choice Awards and realizing just how little you've read of what's been put out there this year. And like this most recent round was the finals, not even the initial batch of nominations, and there was still 140 books, excluding all the audiobooks, that you could choose between. I've read a lot this year, like more than I ever have. I think I'm at 91 or 92 on Goodreads right now. Needless to say, plenty of that is like fantasy dribble. But still, it's been great to get so much into my reading digest. And do you know how many of those books were part of the Goodreads Choice Awards? 7. I've read just about 5% of everything that's nominated this year. I always think about this video I saw of Carl Sagan a few years ago where he talks about how if you read one book a week for your entire adult lifetime, which is way more than almost everyone is able to read, certainly more than I've ever read before this year, how many books overall that would be. And to demonstrate it, he walks in a library from one part to another part in front of the total number of books. And it's like a staggeringly small distance, like just a couple of steps. The point he's making is that even for the ferocious readers, there's very little time and we have very little opportunity to actually read as widely or as deeply as we'd like to. Then he says the trick is to read the good stuff given that limited time and ability to read. And I get that logic. You'll see a lot of people in bookish spaces say they don't read any new books or they only read the classics because they're classics for a reason. And I get it, really, I do. And obviously a lot of my reading isn't actually things that came out this year. But at the same time, as someone who aspires to like participate in the conversation of books and to understand the things that are coming out right now, not to mention wanting to support like authors who are alive currently as opposed to the estate of someone who has long since passed away, especially when those authors are new or not established or don't have some like legacy of royalties and established canon that are like supporting them. It stinks to realize how little of what I've touched is actually contemporary to the year that we're living in. And there's not advice here, it's just I'm sharing how humbling I'm finding it that even though this is the biggest year I've ever had, I've still read so little of what has been out there. And honestly, all it makes me want to do is read a bunch more next year. Anyways, if there's a book that came out this year you think I absolutely shouldn't have missed and you would recommend I try to hit it next year, feel free to shout it in the comments. Statistically speaking, I won't have read it.